Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay, here to talk Packers Bengals this evening. Got an awesome show for you guys and gals. We got a little Brandon McMannus scare. We're going to talk about that. Tim, I blame you. You mentioned it last night. You were a little concerned about him popping up on the injury report. And then lo and behold, later on this I guess it was early afternoon that LaFleur put us on a little scare alert. We'll talk about that because I kind of feel like it took a turn for the worse, and then it came back around where I'm not feeling as bad about it, but I want to get everybody's take in the chat on that. We also got a Devonte Wyatt update. Spoiler alert, doesn't look good, which we kind of expected, right? We didn't expect him to play this week. We'll talk about what was mentioned there by Halfley. We'll also mention or talk about the Packers-Bengals overview. If you guys are in our Patreon group, you already got this article. We're just going to go through and hit it real quick. What I thought we would do is get a little more organized and show where our offense ranks against their defense, both scoring, run defense, and pass defense, and vice versa. So we'll give you all just a little bit deeper preview on the Packers Bengals. You can check that out over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. If you want to support the show, it's the best place to do that. So, before we get into all that, if you would, do that YouTube stuff for me real quick. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning in to PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. We're not experts. We're not insiders. You probably caught on already. We're not media members. We are fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. So if you dig that type of stuff, make sure you hit subscribe and click the bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live daily, in some cases multiple times per day. Tim, man, we're going to jump into the McMannus injury talk here in a second, but how you feeling, dude? How you doing today? What's been going on in Tim's world?
I had a feeling about McMoney and this quad injury. Doing okay. I'm glad we've got some positive news, I guess you could call it, out of there. But I'm not completely unconcerned about this. I'm sure we'll dive into it. But I'm doing good, man. Happy to talk some ball. We got fall weather here in Green Bay. It's beautiful in the 50s today. Really cool at night. I love that chipper fall weather that we're getting right now, man.
No, it's lovely, dude. And Robbie in here trying to work us all the way up to first pitch. He says, y'all got 2 hours till first pitch. Talking about the Brewers game. So, and dang, Andy Watkins came in here and said, go Cubs. But you about to get kicked out. You better watch it now. Watch it, man. And I'm not talking about by me, man. These are rabid Brewer fans here in the chat. They will hack the stream and kick you out where I have nothing to say about it. But, Robbie, we'll probably go about an hour, man. We'll make sure.
Andy Watkins also asking, can you kick? Yes, I can. The question is, with any consistency or effectiveness, the answer is probably no, but good question.
Absolutely. What we need to do is we need to put together this elaborate plan to where we can have Tim sneak into the college game day kicking contest and win us all about $250,000. That's what when I say us all, I mean me and Tim. We're going to split it. Of course, I'm his agent, but we'll see if we can't get some money on the table for that. I don't know if you watch.
Put up some money for the personal trainer first, Clayton. Help me get stretched out. Wouldn't want to pull a quad while I'm practicing, right?
Right. Gotta rub the butt cheek down after that one. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it goes, man. Every time I try to kick a football, I pull a butt cheek for about 2 weeks. It happens every single time. And I know the doctors in the house are saying that's the gluteus maximus, Clay. I got it. Completely understand. Down here we call it a butt cheek. It is what it is. All right.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Thank you, Coach. Let's jump into it, man. So, major concern in all quotations. You're going, Clayton, you're being dramatic. No, that was Matt LaFleur being dramatic, man. This had me a little concerned as Rob Demovsky tweeted out. Packers coach Matt LaFleur said kicker Brandon McMannus' quad injury is not from the tackles he had to make in the Dallas game. LaFleur called it, quote, a major concern right now. We'll see how he is today and tomorrow, and we'll have a plan, said Matt LaFleur. He went on to say, Demovsky tweeted out, LaFleur said McMannus' right quad injury happened in practice yesterday. They have IPP player Mark McMannus on the practice squad, but also could sign a kicker. Obviously, Mark's been working with Brandon McMannus pretty much all year long, all the way through training camp, I should say, right? So he may be the guy who gets to start there. Then Rob Domofsky tweeted out, Brandon McMannus, right quadriceps, was at practice and working with holder Daniel Whelan, but not kicking. Practice squad IPP kicker Mark McNamee watched closely behind. Left tackle Rasheed Walker with the quad did not participate after being limited yesterday. Wyatt and Belton still out. We'll hit on some of those here shortly. Now, that's the bad news, right? It looks bad, sounds bad. And that's what me and Tim were talking about earlier. However, you had Brandon McMannus in the locker room or outside of the locker room, I believe, immediately following practice, and he had something a little bit different to say. Let's see what Brandon McMannus had to say about it.
Like you said, it's very similar to my injury that I had in 22. I had a pretty good game, and I had 2 50-yarders and a 40-yarder in that game. And so like I said, I plan on playing.
So he plans on playing. I love what he said there, too. He's trying to sell a used car, ain't he, Tim? My man's like, listen, buddy, I've had this injury before. I kicked 2 50-plus yarders. Coach put me in. But like you said, man, the last thing you want to do is try to rush this thing with McMannus, too, and all of a sudden you're without your kicker the rest of the year. That would suck.
Yeah, and you know, the Irishman McNamee is a cool story. You know, the guy's been kicking footballs probably less than a year at this point. So you have a quote unquote backup plan, but when you're dealing with a veteran like McMannus, who's pretty much automatic, I am concerned. And it's great that he gave us a little inside baseball there, talking about, you know, he had tweaked the quad in 2022, was still able to hit from a couple 50-yarders, and then he said 40-yarders. So in my mind, that's the barometer for Sunday. You know, if we're talking 55, 58 yard, we're going for it. We're not going to send him out there for that. I think if we're inside his comfort zone, they may go with it. But anytime you've got a leg or quad or hamstring, ankle, knee, anything on your kicking leg, that's extremely concerning. And McMoney doing his best to just play it off and be real cool about it. I guess we'll see. You know, we'll see how he looks going into this weekend. I'm sure we shouldn't overreact, but, you know, I think Coach LaFleur's right. I mean, this is a serious concern right now because, you know, our only other option other than signing another kicker is going with our international pathway player, McNamee, and giving him a shot. And, you know, he's looked pretty good, like I said, for a guy hasn't been kicking footballs very long, you know, former soccer goalkeeper and everything. But, you know, game on the line, you know, in the NFL, you throw him out there, you don't feel as confident as you do even with a banged up veteran like McMannus out there. So I would anticipate that they're going to tweak his range and his comfort zone a little bit. And I wouldn't anticipate anything, you know, more than, you know, low 50s for field goal attempts if he does play on Sunday.
It just changes the play calling a little bit, right? The aggressivity, you know, on fourth downs, rather than try a long one, you know, maybe try to keep it, like you said, within 40 yards, you know, go ahead and sop the short kicks up with a biscuit and move on, right? And then the long ones, you either go for it or pin them deep. JJ McQuaid in the chat said you can't beat a kicker with huevos. Very true. Teeb says in the chat, just go for 2 every time. Emilio, what do you think about this, man? Rob Domofsky put this tweet out, said Packers kicker Brandon McMannus says he plans to play on Sunday versus Cincy. Even after his quad injury yesterday in practice, he had a similar situation earlier in his career and played that Sunday. What do you think, man? Have you ever had a quad? I need to ask you that, sir. You being a former – was it lacrosse? It was lacrosse.
Yeah, lacrosse. I did play football, but yeah, lacrosse in college. I had a quad in my freshman year of college, but it's something you just kind of got to get through, really little time thing, and just sort of work through the pain, stretch it out if you can. But yeah, that's when Tim texted us that, I was like, oh, here we go. And I didn't really know what had happened. I was just mowing and stuff. So I was like, all right, well, we'll figure out what's going on. But yeah, listening to Rich and everything, you know, Hale's coming along, right? But it's the way Rich kind of said it. I don't think he was super thrilled about maybe dragging him out there to take that spot. And which is fine. Like Tim was saying, dude's just learning and getting the hang of it. And so you got to go through those steps. And I think they were asking about Whelan and if he can do kickoffs, and I'm pretty sure he's their backup. But again, it's a different stroke, right? It's a completely different swing of the leg when you're doing kickoffs, field goals versus punts and everything. You got to point your toe and everything on a punt. You got to, you know, really swing through it. And so you're just asking them to bounce around a lot. I think you're kind of spot on with that, Tim. It's like when I'm playing college football, anything from 40, 30 to 30, I'm going for it. You know what I mean? Unless I'm inside my 20, I'm kicking. Besides that, it's 4-down territory, man. And you get on those far right hashes, man. I don't mess with some of those close kicks. So you still go for it then anyway.
Right. It's really true. I feel like it's only going to affect the field goal attempt game, right? Yeah. The kickoffs nowadays are, they are what they are. I'm not worried about McMannus on kickoffs or, 33-yard extra points. It's, are we going to need a 57-yarder with time running down?
Right.
How do you feel about sending him out there for that versus – maybe you just go for it on that 4th and 2 or whatever it is. So
maybe a little drop kick, Tim.
Hey, there you go. Get creative. Hey, manufacture some points, man. You got to do what you got to do. A win's a win, right?
Yeah. And Jason Wine in chat said Matt LaFleur likes to talk about injuries to throw off opponents. Very good point. I know people complain about the size of the injury report every week. I think that's by design as well, guys. I think they err on the side of caution, load that thing down, and give the opponent as much to think about as possible. I believe that's the way they operate there, but I could be wrong.
Either way, I'll be over at Titletown tomorrow morning, bright and early, getting a few kicks up,
nice.
Just in case, if they need somebody, I'll do it for a free case of Gatorade, if they just need me to play on Sunday. No
like
worries.
Emilio tells his 2-star kicker on college football over there at Buffalo. He says, you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
Absolutely. All I need you is from the 20 to the 30, my man. That's it. That's all I need you to do. Put it through the uprights.
Matt Schneiden put a tweet out here. Jeff Hafley on Devonte Wyatt, who suffered a knee injury against Dallas and likely won't play Sunday. Quote, he's having a great year, not a good year. He was missed in that game a lot. Hafley said he has confidence in Wooden, Brooks, Stackhouse, and Brinson behind Wyatt. I think we would all agree Brinson's probably going to get elevated this game. This just kind of really, really leans into what we talked about earlier. I think it was last night. I think Devonte Wyatt's out in this game. He did not participate again today. I think this is Hafley just kind of, again, when you're talking to the media, you're talking to your team, right?
Yeah.
And I think what he's telling Brinson is get your butt ready, right? Let's go.
Same thing to Stack, right?
Yep, exactly.
I love it. And this could be that silver lining, right? We could get a great opportunity here for our rookies, Stackhouse and Brinson, to get some meaningful reps here in this game while we let Heavy D get some rest, right?
Yeah.
Might as well. Like Michael was saying in his interview, dude, I just want you to come back 100%. That's it. Like, I don't need you to force it back like we've been saying, this whole year. Take it easy if you need to for a week or two. Get back 100 and let's make a run here.
Yeah. Seeing the Pop-Tart talk in the chat here, man. I don't know what Respect Orange is. Respect Orange is talking about toasting a Pop-Tart and putting peanut butter on it? Is that true?
You ever done that?
No, dude. That
you ever toasted a Pop-Tart?
Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart?
Did what, Tim?
You ever put butter on a Pop-Tart?
No, did you?
It's so freaking good.
We're going to get off track real quick.
Y'all take over the show. I'm going to hit DoorDash up right now.
Brown sugar is the only way to go, my man.
Yeah. See, I've never had the brown sugar. Now, somebody mentioned the strawberry. Strawberry is where it's at. Not so cool. I'm with you, man. Strawberry with a glass of milk. I'll be asleep on fucking college game day, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you don't toast them. When you do the frosted strawberry, you just rip them right out of the packet.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Hey, you've never had a brown sugar?
No, man. Never had.
Wow. I got to get a hold of Mandy. We got to get that on the next order. That's unbelievable.
Text her. Get it on the DoorDash order.
Coach Len backing me up. I have butter on a Pop-Tart is amazing. Let's go.
Man, I got to try that. See, I got to write this stuff down, dude. Unbelievable. I'll tell you, you eat too many Pop-Tarts with butter on them, you're going to end up on the injury report. I promise you that. Aaron Banks, growing. I wonder if he's been eating a Pop-Tart with butter there. But he's limited again today. I don't know, man. Hearing Wildy talk about it on Wildy and Tausch, it kind of sounded like there's something going on with Banks. Like the way he made a comment, and I don't remember the comment exactly, sounds like there might still be a little bit of an issue there. So I don't know if he'll play or not. Anthony Belton did not participate with the ankle injury. That sucks. Kingsley Nigbare limited. Nate Hobbs limited. Tucker Kraft and Jordan Love both full participation. No new news there. Brandon McMannus, like we mentioned, was limited with the right quad. Jacob Monk limited with the hammy. And then you had Jordan Morgan was full participation with the knee. Zach Tom limited. Rasheed Walker, guys, check this out. Quadricep,
like
right?
that.
So he had limited on Wednesday, and then all of a sudden he did not practice today. I think it's safe to say Rasheed Walker not going to be playing in this game. Am I wrong to be
Jordan Morgan at left tackle? Let's go.
Am I wrong to be a little excited about that? Like, I don't, I want all of our players healthy. but I want to get a good look at Jordan Morgan at left tackle and see if that preseason, what we've seen in preseason, was real or if it was just a facade. Because to me, he looked good playing left tackle. I'm kind of excited about seeing him play left tackle. Now the problem there is if Aaron Banks doesn't go and Rasheed Walker doesn't go, now you're down to your third choice at left guard. That could be an issue, obviously. So,
which would be
your boy Travis Glover. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who's going to be that third there? But are you? So you're saying that Rasheed's not going to play? Clay, you don't think he's going to play?
I mean, anytime that you're downgraded, if you go from limited on Wednesday to did not participate on Thursday, and it's not veteran rest, then I mean, to me,
I was going to say, what if it is just a rest, but they're not marking it as that? Like, all right, hey, he's just not participating. That would be my only thought. But yeah, if it's not the case and Rasheed's going to be out, I am going to be excited for Morgan out there. Absolutely, get him comfy.
Yeah, especially like what Jason Wise said earlier, how Matt likes to play with the injury report a little bit. So maybe that is the case. Maybe it is veteran rest without mentioning veteran rest, and now maybe they're thinking, hey, you know what? Let's get Trey Hendrickson some more reps on the left side because Rasheed ain't going to go. And then all of a sudden Rasheed's out there and you game planned all week long for taking on a backup left tackle. That could be the case, right? So that's a great point. Christian Watson limited, Savion Williams limited, and then Devonte Wyatt obviously has not participated all week. I expect him out. So what do you guys think about anything else you want to hit on there on the Packers side of the injury report? Anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, just the Rasheed Walker popping up with the downgrade late in the week, kind of backing up your point, Clayton. It'd be different if this was like Tuesday, but we're going into Friday in a game weekend and he's not participating. I'm sure they're going to have a walkthrough or some kind of practice tomorrow. If he's limited in participating, that would be a good sign. Sometimes guys are up and down, right? But if he's do not participate again going into the weekend, I'm with you, man. You're leaning towards him probably not going. And, what other choice do we have? You got to throw the kid from Arizona out there at left tackle and, let him do what he does. But this offensive line, man, one step forward, one step back, it seems like these last couple of weeks.
It's been tough, man, for sure. On the Cincinnati Bengals side, full participation for Jamar Chase. Obviously, he's going to play. Dylan Fairchild, their starting left guard, looks like he's going to be out, guys. He hasn't practiced all week. He's got a knee. Shaka Hayward, not listed on Wednesday, then did not participate today. He had an illness. B.J. Hill on that veteran rest. So it looks like that's all that was today because he was full participation on Wednesday. Charlie Jones with the Achilles was limited. Lucas Patrick, full participation, so he was upgraded. Drew Sample, their tight end with the ankle injury, did not participate on Wednesday. He was limited today. And then Shamar Stewart has been limited all week. So obviously Joe Burrow's on the IR. Jamar Chase seems to be fully healthy. That's just rest. I guess the big thing to look for there is they may be going to their third string guard as well. Now, keep in mind, their third string guard might be better than Fairchild because he has graded out like cheeks all year long. So something to keep our eye on there. Anything you guys maybe catches your eye there before we move along from the Bengals side of the injury report?
Lucas Patrick returned.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's in that window. He was limited. Now he's full participant. He's tuned up, ready for Lambeau Field.
Never know. He could be motivated.
Yeah. All right, so there you go, guys. If you would, jump in the comments. Let us know. Let's talk about it. Let us know what you think about the injury report if you're watching this video back later. And make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Hopefully it's not too distracting, me trying this whole stand-up thing here. Clayton, your boy getting old. He got a bad back. He got a bad hip right now. So I thought, why not try to stand during the show, see if that helps. So
I thought Jacob only goes after bad hips.
Yeah, I guess Mandy does.
We're gonna give him some.
Evidently, Mandy goes after the older crowd too. Over her boy not doing well. But so anyway, we'll try this out and see if we like it. Some of those long streams might be a little bit better, but pretty cool little setup, man. How it raises up and everything. I'm just waiting to turn the whole damn thing over and we'll call it a night. You know what I mean? The whole thing fall apart. So, but anyway, let's move it along now. Bengals Packers game preview. Thought we would do something a little bit different, okay? And what we're going to do is just an overview. We dive really, really deep into the weeds, and we do that with the game plan. You guys have seen the game plan. We're going to continue to add layers to that as the week goes along. You can find that in the Patreon group as well, along with this overview. I thought, let me back up a minute. Let me back up and try to look at just kind of the overview. How does our offense stack up against our scoring defense? How does our run offense stack up against our run defense, and vice versa? So we'll just kind of walk down the line here. I want to get your all's take on everything. So offensive scoring, talking points per play. The Packers rank 13th. The Bengals are 23rd. Okay, so the Packers right now, points per play are 0.416 points per play. Cincinnati is 0.318. So when it comes to scoring offense, the Packers seem to have the edge. Put a little green check mark next to it. Does that surprise you guys? The fact that the Bengals weren't, in the bottom three kind of caught me off guard a little bit because their offense has looked really bad. Their defense has looked really, really bad. We'll talk about that in a second. But I don't know, man. I'm still a little bit hesitant to feel confident in this game, mainly because we're so banged up, which, who isn't across the league right now? Coming out of the bye, it's a little more frustrating because you expect guys to get healthier. But what do you think? What do you guys think about that? Packers 13th in points per play. The Bengals are 23rd.
The tale of two offensive lines, right?
Yeah,
I mean, two banged up offensive lines. Like you said, nobody's immune to injuries, especially in the NFL at this point in the year. But I think we're going to see more of it on Sunday. It's a testament to the way Jordan Love's been playing football. We've had some issues on that O-line, and we found a way to play through it. Same thing with Cincinnati. I mean, losing Joey B, that's a huge deal, right? And finding a way to manufacture some kind of offense and hang around near that top 20 is pretty impressive. And I think that's probably why you feel like we feel right now, which is, I'm confident in our team, but I don't think this is a gimme game. We're going to see on Sunday is two offensive lines struggling all day long, really. And, it may affect your offense. It all starts at that snap and with that wall. Like Emilio says, you can't have holes in the wall and expect to do anything. So I really think that's where we're at right now. But the Packers being 13th gives me hope. If we can figure out how to get guys healthy and get consistent personnel out there, maybe we can creep into that top 10.
Bill Ted.
Yeah, absolutely. Scroll down just a smidge, Clay.
Yeah.
It's not like so we're at 4.16. We're not even that far off. I mean, you're talking half of a point, to get you up to 10. So I'm completely fine with that offense. Yeah, we were maybe a little slow here and there, but I think that it's, starting to work itself out, starting to get some of the kinks out. We just can't get our running game going. I think that'll help a lot. Jacobs getting hit in the backfield. There's just a lot that we've had issues with, but it all kind of, like Tim was saying, falls back on the O-line. You got 6 O-linemen on the injury report right now. You're facing an uphill battle there. So either one of those is going to give. Either the line's going to get better and you're going to start getting healthy and you're going to start breaking off some runs and the offense is going to do a little better, or you're just going to fight a revolving door at injury and that'll be the rest of the season there. But I don't think they're going to kind of let that happen. We got to get them better, get moving forward. I was thinking about this the other day. I was looking at Myers snapping for the Jets. It's like, dude, and for everything that Myers did, man, at least he was out there every game. I mean, trust me. He got spun around more than a few times, but dude was out there game in, game out. We just need a little bit more of that.
That's a great point, man. Availability and accountability. I think that was him, 101. And here's the thing too. He's grading out in the low 60s right now. You want a hot take? Josh Myers is actually grading out a little bit better than Elton Jenkins, according to PFF. Again, take that for what you want, And there are not many people. I've never heard one person, one single person, defend PFF's offensive line grading system. Like, there's never been. I think they're spot on. It's always, this makes no sense at all. That's former NFL offensive linemen talking like that. That's former NFL coaches talking like that. I've never heard anyone positively, endorse PFF and how they grade the offensive line. It's really, really strange for sure. So, JJ McQuaid in the chat says Joe Flacco received a 62.1 PFF overall grade in Week 3 game against the Packers. Again, people were pretending like Joe Flacco played like damn Joe Montana out there. He struggled. The reason we lost that game was their defense was dominant, And again, I think that you're going to go out and face a much what's the right word here? A less equipped defense this week than he had in Cleveland. Now, the trade-off there obviously is now he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to throw the ball to, so will that make a big difference? Let me put it this way. If I could choose between playing Cleveland and their stout defense but horrible offense, or play the Bengals' horrible defense and kind of, average to below average offense, I'm picking the Bengals every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Because you can go out there and score points and you can put pressure on the Bengals. Flacco's going to start to force some things, which he didn't have to do in that Cleveland game because we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. That makes sense. So, scoring defense, let's see where they stack up there. This is where they start to separate themselves big time, right? Opponent points per play allowed. The Packers are 10th in the league. The Bengals are 27th. So right now we are a top 10 scoring defense at 0.331 points per play allowed. Again, the Bengals are all the way toward the bottom in 27th at 0.459 points per play allowed. So really, really like this to be the week that the Packers offense cranks it up. You just got to take care of Trey Hendrickson. Don't turn the ball over. And to me, it feels like this is going to be a Josh Jacobs game.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but it just feels like – that's why I was telling Jacob last night, check the under on Josh Jacobs and even maybe Emmanuel Wilson. This feels like a game where they're going to run the rock, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guarantee you it's going to open things up for us in the passing game. We've seen the Packers numerous times pass to set up the run or manufacture some rushing just to keep that defense honest. But I do think that this would be a great opportunity to go run first, go heavy, get these linemen blocking, get our tight ends blocking, get Josh Jacobs going, get Emmanuel Wilson going, and then wait for that perfect time to call that play action, little rollout to your left or right, and hit a receiver open in the flat or something, get the offense going through the run game this week. Absolutely.
Clint, the armchair quarterback, said the refs should have been wearing Cowboys jerseys down there in Big D. That's the other thing, too. Being back home at Lambeau, Emilio, you feel pretty good. Obviously, the scoring defense tends to, to point toward the Packers being heavy favorites, just like the 14-point spread suggests. But also, man, being at home is going to help a lot. And I guarantee you, we were loud enough as a fan base, and I guarantee you the coaches sent tape into the league office like, hey, are we going to start calling these holds on Micah Parsons or not?
Yeah. And then the league office says, no, you get Brad Allen as your official. And
what a
dirtbag's going to do what he does, right?
No problem, right, Tim? And Micah was even talking about that in his interview, was about the hunt and just to chase the motivation. LVN, I guess, came up to him and was asking him, but like, how do you stay motivated, like getting draw the chips and getting through, the double teams and this and that? He goes, dude, if it's not, you're chasing them down, you're stalking them, it's the hunt. Yeah, are they going to beat me on a play? For sure. But are they going to beat me every play? No. He's like, no, I have too much confidence in myself, faith in myself. Like, I'm going to get there. And when you do, it's like a lion chasing down that gazelle. He's like, man, I need to start listening to some motivational stuff. So you get LVN cranking out on that. You get that mentality of like chase, because that's what we need them to do. You're never going to win every single rep. You just need to, put up or shut up and get it done out there on defense. And I think that they can do that. Really, that, it's something that, we can turn around here, just sort of, you set that mentality right and you get after it. But yeah, you're going up against two skilled wide receivers, a quarterback that can get it out fast. I think that's something you're going to have to take into account. It's not like Micah's going to be able to get there in 2 seconds, right? So if those bubbles and quick passes are all they're going to have right now, we need to be able to stop them. Corners need to come up and play. We need to force them into different looks that they're not, looking for.
Yep. It's something that makes me respect Micah Parsons' game all the more too. When you think about what he's able to do, considering the fact that rarely are they calling any of these, strangulation holds that we see him having, and he's still getting home. He's still getting pressure to the quarterback, still grading out in the, I believe, mid-90s on PFF right now so far. So it's all the more impressive. I think we would just hope that, dirtbags like this guy here on the screen would, at least maybe call, some of them. As a player, you're not going to get all the calls, and you never want to be in a position where you're that guy waving his arms after every play, crying for a call and making excuses. You want to fight through it. Like to your point, Emilio, you just got to play ball, but can at some point, you think we could call a hold maybe 20% of the time when it happens or something? Right.
It's just crazy, dude. Again, I don't understand why you got rules if you're just going to kind of, I don't know, man. It's tough. It was a tough look for sure. I hate talking about that stuff, but again, if I have to be the fan, if I have to be the you hear a lot of other podcasters go, "Well, I don't want to blame the officials. I don't want to blame the flag." Okay, when we get screwed over and nobody talks about it, guess what? It doesn't get loud. It doesn't get loud on the league office. It doesn't get loud on social media. I'm telling you, when you don't tag that NFL officiate in their official Twitter account, then you get what you deserve. Yep. You got to call it out. If you don't call it out, they're not going to change, you know? And you're saying, okay, does it really make that big of a difference? If it's one less call for the rest of the season, to me, it's worth us complaining a little bit. That's just the way I see it, because the other fan bases are going to do it. The other coaches are sending in the tape, right? Yep. All that's going to happen. So, I don't know. I just feel like I think it's worth mentioning for sure. So, turnover margin per game here. So, what's this mean? It's this turnover differential, essentially, right, guys? So, this is – how many times do you take the ball away? How many times do you turn the ball over? And it's the differential, essentially, the turnover margin per game. The Packers are 15th at an even 0. Okay, so they're just coming out with a push every week so far, right? And the Bengals are 28th, and they are coming away each game. They're losing the turnover differential on average by 1 turnover per game. That's huge. It's absolutely huge. That's actually, tied for 28th. So I think that's something that could come into play. Now, listen, Evan Williams said it best. He was looking forward to playing Browning. Browning's not coming in. Browning's not coming back through that door. You know, it sounds like it's going to be Joe Flacco. But I do feel like Joe Flacco is going to give you an opportunity to pick a pass or two off. I really do. I think he's also going to try to force the ball to Jamar Chase quite a bit, with them having a lack of a running game. You know what I mean, Emilio? So I think there's going to be opportunities for us to take the ball away. We just got to make damn sure we protect the football on offense.
Right. It's a, lack of the running game, but he's a veteran quarterback. He's seen it before. He's been through multiple offenses. Like Halfley was saying, it's probably just terminology that he's getting caught up on. So he's not going to have maybe the biggest, play sheet or whatever, but I think that he's going to understand 70% of that offense is going to be able to run it. It's just how many deep shots, how many, long posts or double moves or play actions, those sort of things are you going to be able to get in and him feel confident, turn his head, turn his back to the line and see what happens. I do think that we could probably force him into some of those, like you're saying, especially if he's trying to look to feed Chase, feed T. It's basically what happened with Browning, right? You're just trying to get the ball to Chase, trying to get it to your best player. And if those bubbles and quick slants aren't there, then, we might have a chance to get to him a few times.
All the more reason to do what we talked about last night, right? Rush 4, don't get overly aggressive, keep everything in front of you. You're in a position where you're willing to give Flacco a chance to beat you if that's what he's going to do. If he's going to try and target Higgins and Jamar Chase all day, let's do it with safety help and multiple defenders in the area. Keep everything in front of us. I mean, I do not subscribe to we have to pressure Joe Flacco all day long and send the dogs after him to get him to make a mistake. I just don't see it. We know who the premier targets are going to be, and we're not threatened by, a stout running attack. So keep it all in front of you, man. Keep it simple.
Yeah, definitely. iRock says in the chat, don't forget to hit that like button. Chat, appreciate you, iRock, for bringing that up. If you guys would take a quick second, just hit that like. If you're new here, hit subscribe. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Jen Wright also said X might eat. Completely agree with that. This could be the game where Xavier McKinney ends up getting a pick or two. Romero Hill says, salute, fellas in chat. Good to see you, Romero. Glad to see you in here, buddy. Been a little while. All right, let's move it along. Running game, offensive ranking. So this is the offensive side running the football. All right, the Packers are 25th in yards per carry right now. This is yards per rush attempt. The Bengals are 31st. Now, keep in mind, who have the Bengals played? I don't know. I know the Packers played three pretty stout defenses. Really, when it comes to run defense, 4 stout defenses. Yeah. Dallas was 7th in the league in yards per carry allowed. Look at where they're at now, guys. People that were saying this Dallas defense was horrible, Dallas is now tied for 3rd in I'm sorry, this is on offense. My bad. We'll get to the defense in a second. Let me just take a quick look. Dallas, because I think did they sink out of sight? They're in 17th now. Okay. Yeah. So they went from 7th to 17th. Got it. All right. So my bad on that. In terms of offensive rushing, yards per rush attempt, the Packers are 25th, the Bengals are 31st. Dallas is running the football down there is what the point I was trying to make.
That's a very good point, Clay, because all offseason they were talking about how they have absolutely no running game. They're worried about their running game. They're trying to bring in Booker to give something to that running game. And it's like, dude, a running back fell into your lap and now you're pushing 6 yards a carry. That's, almost 2 yards more than you were running last year. That can really set your offense up for success. And I think that's why you see Dak spinning the thing like that. I mean, he's able to not have everything sitting on his shoulder. Who was it? Cosell was saying Dak's turning into a win because quarterback, not a win by quarterback, right? So it's Dak is showing up because he's got a little bit around him, a little bit of run game. He doesn't have maybe CD, but we can still make that happen because of Dak. So I think that's kind of where we need to get to. Let's let Jordan be our win because, not by. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, and so you see here, Cincinnati only 3.1 yards per carry, Tim. Not overly concerned with the run, which kind of lends credence right back to what you said. Listen, keep everything in front of you. Play the pass. Put 7 in coverage. And like I said, let's go with a cover 6 look and let Jamar Chase dictate the coverage. Make sure the cover 4 side is on his side. Not every play, but the majority of the time, I would like to see a lot of cover 6. Because, again, when you look at what we've ran so far this year, let me pop this graphic up. So far this year, we are running cover 3 37% of the time, cover 2 21% of the time. Make sure I got the year right. I believe I do.
Yep.
And cover 6, we've only ran it 14% of the time so far this year. So
that cover 1 man needs to go away. Let's get that 18% number down.
Get it down to about at least 16, maybe 15%, and get that cover 6 up to, what I would like to see is honestly, we got cover 6 14% of the time and cover 1 man 18% of the time. I want to see those flip. That's what I want to see. And
I don't
think
mind a little cover 1 man when you got a short field. Your opponent's knocking on the door of the red zone or something, and you want to man up. I get it, but early in a drive with a lot of field behind you, it can bite you in the ass big time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So back to the run defense now. All right, this is where the Packers are excelling. Get that off the screen there. Apologize. So defensive ranking, yards per rush attempt allowed, the Packers are 5th in the league. The Bengals are 16th. So the run defense, Emilio, has been stout. I mean, 3.6 yards a carry is all you're allowing. The only teams that are better are New England, the LA Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Cleveland Browns. Again, that's why I look at that Cleveland game, couldn't get the running game going the way you wanted to. That doesn't bother me as much because Cleveland is the best run defense in the league right now. What do you think about Green Bay sitting in the 5th spot and then, of course, the Bengals being down there at 16?
Yeah, better than last year. We'll take that, absolutely. Obviously, it's probably going to even out as the season goes on, but 3 yards to carry, that you're stopping them before they get a first down, right? If you're looking at a running attack as anything over 4 yards, you're in the clear. 3.5 where you can break that 10 yards every 3 plays. I'm super happy with that. I'm glad that it didn't all fall into shambles because you brought in Micah and everything, and and Wyatt's not there, okay, but we can still hold up. And you do that to a Dallas team that basically had to throw it all over the yard to keep up with you, who's pushing almost 6 yards a carry, right? So you're cutting them in half, and you played that game up to 40 points. So it's not like they didn't have opportunities to run it. So I think, like you said, hopefully we can get Jacobs going this game because you're going up against an opponent that you might find a couple cracks in it.
Yeah, Clint in the chat here said Eagles 29. Wow, I think he's talking about running the ball. So the Eagles are 29th in rushing this year, guys. They're 29th. And then in run defense, they're tied for 24th. Not to get too far off track here, Tim, I apologize. I just seen that and was like, are they really 29th in rushing? That's wild.
Backs up what you always talk about. Philly's got a lot on tape, right? The NFL teams are well-versed in what Philadelphia tries to do with the ball, whether that's Saquon or Jalen Hurts or whatever they got going in their run game. Clearly the tide is turning. Film study does pay off and it translates to the field sometimes. And, it's a game of inches and a game of adjustments. So, and again, we're what, barely a quarter of the way into the season here. We're going into week 6. So, a lot can change in a few short weeks. But I mean, to your point about, the running attack, like Emilio was saying, like this could be an opportunity with that, semi-suspect defensive line there. With the Bengals, I'd like to see a versatile approach. I'd like to run between the tackles. I'd like to run outside the tackles. I'd like to get some toss. I'd like to, inside zone. Let's get some duo going. Let's throw the damn kitchen sink at Cincinnati when it comes to the run game and not let them get comfortable. Let them be on their heels all day long,
I would love to see flow and boot flow, basically wide zone and boot flow off of it, and get Tucker Kraft involved early and often there in the passing game for sure. When you're talking passing game, offensively, yards per pass attempt, for all those people that say Matt LaFleur is too conservative, don't look now, but the Packers are 4th in the league in yards per pass attempt. Matt LaFleur is straight belt to ass in the passing game right now. And Jordan Love is an MVP candidate, so you got to tip your cap to the old ball coach there. The only 3 teams that are better than them are Seattle, Baltimore, and Indianapolis as it sits right now. Bengals, however, their yards per pass attempt on offense, 27th, tied for 27th. At 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Now, they're moving on to the next quarterback, right? Maybe they're expecting that to get a little bit better with Joe Flacco. I don't expect it to change much at all, Emilio. I don't know how you feel about that, man.
A yard and a half less than last year. That's brutal for a passing game. And you go up to the Packers, who have actually gotten a little bit better than last year. They were at 8.3, I think, versus 8.1 beforehand. And it's like, yeah, Matt LaFleur is still cooking. There's still not a problem there. I think it's, maybe Jordan's not taking as many attempts. What's he averaging, like 30 a game, something like that, which is normal. But nowadays it seems like 40, 45, if you're really wanting to throw the ball is what you're looking for. Matt's staying consistent, not overworking your quarterback, not overworking your back. We're in good shape. The only one I would say, scroll back up real quick, Clay, on the Packers is our away number. So we're 7.6 yards when we're away versus 9.1 at home. So we're a yard and a half less away. I think that has a lot to do with the snap count, a lot to do with trying to decide what we want to do on silent. And I think getting home, we're going to hear we'll hear a hard count here and there. I think maybe when we're away, we need to get under center more so that you don't need to do as many claps or through the leg looks. And we just need to kind of run our offense maybe a little differently when we're away. Stop putting so much pressure on that old line and, listening for this or looking down the line and stuff like that. Let's try to make it easier on them. But, when we come home, I think they're going to spin it. We're going to get maybe an offsides or too many men on the field, hard count, something like that.
That's a great point, Emilio, considering, musical chairs that we've been playing on that O-line, right? You got to have your counts right. And you have to, try to manufacture some consistency when you're having consistent personnel out there, for sure. It's a great point.
Yeah, and the whole looking through the legs for the snap blew me away. I've been watching football a long time. Has the Packers ever done that before?
I don't know, but I did see Josh Myers doing it for the Jets too. So I was like, is that something we carried over, or is that
no? That's Aaron Glenn's dumpster fire over there.
Is that just the other option too? We don't want to tap him on the hip from a guard. Let's look between the legs. I don't know.
You got high school teams that don't even do that anymore. Yeah. Come on now.
Seriously.
Well, actually, there is high school teams that do it, Tim. It's called the Jets. So you never want to be in the same conversation with the Jets, be on the forefront of some kind of new age thing. I know it's not new. We're kind of, tongue in cheek here, but I've never noticed that before where it's just, all right, I'm going to stare between my legs and then I'm going to snap the ball. That's a lot. I don't know. That seemed like it'd be very, very disorienting.
Yeah, like why not
you're going to get your ass kicked in that.